Isohel, I know, beat Raven King and Cypher to get here. Cypher seated above, but Cypher also making upsets to make winner side top of 16. Ikana beating Zed, and I cannot remember who he played in winners quarters, but anyways, playing almost an Ignite regular is what it feels like. Like, you see this match all the time.
What I see a lot happen at larger events is like Ignite winners quarters is like the winners semis of large. This happened at literally Combo Breaker. We had exactly that. We had winners semis of that tournament was a winners quarters ignition special. I don't know how often these two have played, to be honest, but I know that they are both heavily been around throughout the summer, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's several times.
They've definitely played a few times. I do know that this is considered one of Young Link's hard matchups. Have to play against a bigger disjoint, basically hitboxes that are all bigger, but you have the better projectiles in the matchup.
I have heard from both Young Links and various Toon Link mains that Big Link kind of is them, but slightly better when it comes to the way that you have to control space, the way that you have to hold stage, the way that you can kind of ledge trap. He can do all of that either as well or better in many situations, so you really do have to better player your opponent in a lot of these circumstances.
Yeah. But kind of like there, Ikana is really good about using projectiles to either extend combos, start combos, anything like that. So even though maybe playing at the space disadvantage of trying to just get in, one fire arrow is all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, if you can get some really good conversions in off of your various projectiles that you're both going to be throwing, let's face it, this is a very projectile-y match. But if you can hit the fire arrow into the fair, if you can hit the boomerang into the down air, whatever, bomb drop into down air, I've seen a lot of different conversions from Ikana over the months and years, then you're golden. However, if you make mistakes at all, like we saw isohel take that first stock with up tilt because Ikana misspaced one area or one jump. Exactly. We saw the up B out of shield right before that because he misspaced one conversion. That's all it takes for Link to get massive punishes. And he hits hard, he does big damage, and you're always going to be doing these things from the corner. Like, look where isohel is. If you drew a box in between the two platforms to make the middle of the stage, he's always on the better side of that, as he gets the scoop there with the up B on an excellent edge guard.
Yeah, no, he is taking full control over just the pace of this game right now as well. Ikana feels like he is kind of jumping in, trying to get either just one of like the main starters that Young Link kind of fishes for, and isohel is, like you said, in that box, ready to up tilt, ready to just maybe even press a nair to stuff those approaches out constantly here.
Like you saw a second ago there, all right, isohel was in the corner, so what did he do? Jump nair, jump nair, jump nair. Like, you're not going to be able to contest it if he doesn't do anything risky after it, if he doesn't shield, if he doesn't push a different aerial. So you kind of have to award him that space, and he knows that. So he's been just taking advantage.
That's exactly what has gotten isohel really good. There was that whole point in time where he basically relearned the game without using any of Link's projectiles, focused strictly on using boxing tools and aerials, everything like that. And it has obviously made him a much better player, just being able to understand the space he controls without even having to press the button.
Yeah, that was a crazy couple months as he takes that game with the up smash, read a two-stock, I believe. It looked like Ikana just could not get it going. He had a little bit of rhythm that he lost almost instantly. Yeah, isohel spent that time. He showed up to actual brackets and said, I'm not going to throw a bomb. I'm not going to throw a boomerang.
No arrow.
No arrow, no nothing. I'm just going to push A and see what I can do with that, how many kills I can get with that, you know, how that will help me with spacing. You kind of train your brain. Like, a lot of projectile characters will do that. They'll lean too much on their projectiles, and when it comes time to box, when it comes time to convert, when it comes time to chain together aerials or like little disjointed moves, you can't do it. So he made sure that he would always be able to do it. Very, very smart to do that.
It's the thing that you see a lot of people do with shield, is they will maybe play like online, play some friendly sessions with no shield button to try and force themselves to stop shielding after, you know, maybe they have a bad shield habit. It's like press an aerial, always shield, something like that. But he just took it to the full extent of that. I'm going to essentially relearn how to use my character's tools.
There are not too many players in any scene that I've really seen truly take the initiative in that way, the way that isohel did, to get better at their character and say, you know what, my results right now don't matter for a month or two, but it's going to make me better forever for that.
Yep. It's the hard disconnect about competition, because it's hard to see those results numbers drop and not care.
Yeah, especially when you're a competitive-minded player, which we all probably are to some degree. Now this game, Ikana came out swinging, had a lot of really good spacing, a lot of really good conversions, and racked up damage, got like 100 damage immediately. But now we're at that spot again. isohel's got the stage. How do you stop him? Jumping forward nair on the call out, like, hey, you're not going to hold shield. You haven't been holding shield was a good option. But you have to come up with a new way to do that every single time. And that, unfortunately, that little hook shot there, not quite going to make it back to ledge.
No, tether wasn't enough there, but down tilt fair, classic. Honestly, that might be a tool that I think Ikana should hold on to maybe later for the set when it's needed. Some people kind of just forget how safe down tilt is. So if you get caught sleeping, trying to like shield grab it or something, you'll see a player like Skittles a lot of the time do down tilt on shield at kill percent, and then you will always just get hit by the up B or the fair after.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I feel like he pulled it out now because it's, all right, well, you know, I was ahead, but then I didn't get the recovery. I'm down a game. I have a classic saying that I always say this whenever I'm on commentary when it happens, is if somebody's down a stock and down a game, their odds of winning that set are so much lower than at any point they've been. Like, that's kind of the point of no return for most people, so he had to pull something out.
Yep.
And even if that means saving your possible trick that you can steal a game with later in the set, you know, so be it. You got to give yourself momentum somewhere.
Yeah. Sometimes evening up momentum in a set, regardless of what it takes, is the key of not letting yourself just fall down.
That conversion, knowing the PS2 platforms would work to take that second stock was huge for Ikana. Reading the shield on platform again, all of a sudden, Ikana looked like he's running away with this game too a little bit.
Yep. I think that Ikana just has to like not kind of run in right now. isohel is trying to bait him to like do a running nair or fair at him and just press his own nair and essentially beat him out because he already knows his hitboxes are just going to beat everything that Ikana knows while approaching.
When you're down a stock, you eventually have to be the one to approach, right? Like
Yes.
That's how it works. So isohel having stage control as well as he has throughout the whole set becomes a little bit less important in the situation where he's behind. Now it's a little different, but in that moment, Ikana had the option to, and did do this, pretty much gave isohel like the center stage and said, you know what, if we get some trades, if I can just snipe you from the inside out with projectiles, it'll be fine. I'll put you in kill percent for me. And for the most part, that is kind of where Link is right now. Like a good conversion here definitely takes a stock, 120 for sure.
Oh yeah.
But be wary of Link's kill power.
The Link's kill power always catches me off guard. The amount of times I've played isohel and I just die at 80 to boomerang fair.
Like that might have killed right there. Running there, you know, run off, could have. That definitely will. Big
Yeah.
Link a little higher percentage, but you know, it does catch a lot of people off guard. Not to mention the rage scaling. When you're ahead against a Link, and all of a sudden you die at 50 because you didn't realize that boomerang forward air at ledge was that lethal. Well, it's a live and learn moment. You know, it's hard to realize that in that the flow of the game, competitive setting. You know, oh, I made that one mistake out of a little bit of a pressure, a little bit of anxiety.
Right.
It's a tough one. So good to see Ikana close that set or that game out.
Yep.
And continue the set. Now we're guaranteed at least 4 games between the two of them.
Correct. Did see Halabashin get picked. Based off of isohel's usage of up tilt, that doesn't really surprise me. Like a Halabashin or Smashville pick. Just because if he has the stage control, which we've seen him have most of the set so far, if Ikana kind of is a forced approach underneath that platform, because he's just going to get anti-aired every single time if isohel is sharking
Yeah.
there.
So there's 2 really big reasons that Halabashin is the perfect stage choice here. Number 1, Ikana was utilizing the PS2 platforms when he was on ledge to force turnarounds really well. You can't do that on Halabashin because the platform's too far away. Also, as we've already mentioned a few times, isohel keeping center stage is much, much easier when there's only one platform to worry about, and now it's being used to your advantage as opposed to a way for the opponent to approach.
Yep.
So, like, we've already seen here, isohel's won, like, probably like 8 or 9 neutral interactions in a row and going to take the stock, taking virtually no damage because he just was always in that little zone there. You got to break that zone, and it's so hard for Young Link to do that against Big Link just because of the tools each of them have.
Right. isohel, I mean, I almost made a bubble theory joke because it's so easy to when talking about just the control in that amount of space. But I mean, just Young Link already struggles a lot coming off of ledge, and the way isohel uses a tool like Nair, it is very rough, and he makes it look rough.
isohel went for the spike there, got the hitbox from the dare, but not the spike box. Not the worst thing to get some damage, but this is one of those things where when you're down a stock against a projectile-y character, trades are not your friend.
No.
So it forces you to kind of change the way you're going to approach that game. And there's that down tilt that you were talking about. Save it for when you need it.
It is a very, very important tool, especially in a matchup like this where you are very, very reliant on trying to find kills when you can. Link is surprisingly heavy, and it takes a while to kill him, especially if you don't have the rage or anything like that yourself. So being able to, at a percent like that, down tilt up B, secure a stock.
I saw something that I don't think I've ever seen before, and that might just be a Hollow Bastion thing, but it looked like when they were playing neutral about maybe 20 seconds ago, Ikana went for a Zair, and it bounced. Like it hit the platform above as like now the Zair is going to die because there's like a collision box with the platform or something. So rather than the Zair being there to punish isohel, it just looked like
just kind of died.
Just kind of died, like it pool noodled.
Interesting.
So I wonder if that's like just one more reason that maybe this was a good stage choice for isohel.
Yeah.
We already brought up a few.
isohel did kind of save him there, but the kill throw is not going to do any favors.
Now, while we talked about like how well he had started, Ikana has been finding ways to break the zone in between. He was getting some really good projectile conversions. isohel's been playing with a little bit when he's in neutral stage, almost like Stone Hands, where instead of like keeping movement consistent, he's kind of been like standing there, go for a swing, stand there, maybe walk a little bit, as opposed to like keeping the footing moving, where he was for about a stock, and it kind of allowed Ikana to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Now things looking a little bit grim. Now you've got Link with max rage and a young Link at 80, so
it's
there. Oh, all right, there we go. Down air, good catch on the jump read, because that was definitely kill percent for either person for the moment. Still kind of is. I think 80% still enough to be scared of Link's giant Master Sword.
Yeah, literally just at 80% with rage again, dying to a fair would not be a surprise. But it's hard not to laugh again, just kind of seeing isohel's usage of Nair, but looking at it and just watching it of the gameplay of, oh, he's using this move a lot, but one of my new favorite phrases is, I'll use this option because it's good.
That is good.
And when it basically invalidates the character like that, of Akana's approaches just aren't there because it's getting stuffed out by every single time he's pressing this.
Okay, good finish there from isohel. I was actually getting nervous for a second for isohel because he had like 2 or 3 situations where like he had the read and he went for like pull back projectile grab instead of just kill your opponent, take the stock.
Yeah.
But he did win the neutral setting there and then the ledge trap setting there in a row like 3 or 4 different times, so it wound up working out fine in his favor.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed from Ikana that I would want to see adjustments for is that Zair has worked exactly 0 times. Like every time he's thrown it out, he's either gotten punished for it or lost a section of stage. Maybe that move just in this matchup isn't where you want to be, or maybe he just misspaced them, I don't know. But whenever I see the Zair come out and it doesn't hit, and then he winds up having something like this happen, like these combos,
Yeah.
I kind of sit there and cringe a little bit. I'm like, no, don't do it then. I know it's you want to use all your buttons, right? When you play any character, it's hard to not want to press all of the options your character has. Like, oh, it's a mix-up. If it's not working, it's not working.
I do see Ikana use Zair a lot more than some of the other young Links. Kind of uses it either as a starter or an extender, because same thing as like it acts very similar to like the Toon Link one.
Yep.
Of just in the way that they have to use it as well to maybe extend because they don't have another button that'll work.
See there, we went for Zair to bait grab.
Yeah.
I'm saying that just in this particular matchup, it's been rough.
No, 100%.
It's definitely been successful in the past for sure. Like I think he's used Zair against me personally, and it feels bad. But against Link has just been kind of abusing the option.
I think after game 2, isohel realized how much Bomb has actually helped in this matchup, because Bomb at ledge just basically shuts everything down, and that's why we've seen up smashes hitting a little bit more, or him just throwing it out, because he's able to just throw the bomb down at ledge, kind of like a Rob Gyro. you get up into it, you're just going to get hit into the up smash. Or you roll, you're getting hit by the up smash.
It seemed to me like he was saving bomb more than like debating how good it was. Ooh, good SDI. That had to be SDI, right? I mean,
Sometimes if like you're fading back, like Ikana maybe just didn't hold it in all the way, or hold out all the way, just fall out. Kind of like the ZSS like fair. Like if you were you're holding one way and the move's going the other, you're just gonna fall out sometimes.
Yeah, but that looked consistent. Like he was going up, straight up and left. But either way, good on isohel for finding a way out. Now Ikana has to search another way to take a stock where this game and this set are starting to kind of get away from him. There is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Catch him on the jump with the up air.
Yep. Again, Fire Arrow just also kind of getting stuffed out by Nair. It makes this seem so rough. Because Fire Arrow is like, it's your main combo starter. It's what a lot of people use it for.
It is your best move.
Yes.
In my opinion.
I think you're right.
Gets the dash attack. He is getting a lot of damage off of all of this stock. This is exactly what I was talking about with the Stone Hands. isohel takes a lead, and then he doesn't, like, space as much. He's not moving back and forth. He's kind of Stone Hands.
Just focus on maybe finding the one opening, especially at kill percent, because I think that's kind of when it's happened.
Yeah, like we saw, I think it was game 1, where he kept, or maybe it was, yeah, it was game 1 or 2, where he kept winning the neutral situation and saying, all right, I'm gonna hit this, I'm gonna area, I'm gonna hit this, I'm gonna area, I'm gonna put you at ledge, as opposed to looking for just the way to take a stock. And eventually those combo pieces, those better frame data options do take the stock later in percentage.
Right.
So now you're at a point where you've been searching and searching and searching, and Ikana has been kind of dancing around the few options you've been throwing out. Now you went from up a stock and a ton to actually losing in the game. Ikana's only taken 40% in the last stock and a half for him.
Yeah, Ikana, I mean, literally just did not stop there. Forced isohel to even press a few bad buttons and then just shielded them, took him for full percent, took him for full combo routes, everything like that. I mean, even just starting that stock off by taking 60 off of, I think it was a Fire Arrow, right as we were saying about how good it was.
I saw Ikana roll his eyes when he got killed by Nair, and hey, me too, man. Link's Nair's real good. I know the feeling. There's some moves that are just like that.
The Swiss knife of moves, literally doing every single thing it can.
Yeah, only Ike and Link have Nairs that can actually do everything for them.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. You're at ledge. This is your set. Ooh, getting out of that. And now here we go again. Ikana is the one moving a little bit more.
Yeah. I think isohel is freaking out a little bit, and it was kind of obvious by the two up airs there, but...
Ooh, the arrow snipe was real close. Good air dodge from Youngling. Ikana getting back to stage. Here we go again. Gets the up B.
Gets the...
He wanted to follow up there. It was good DI by isohel. Sometimes you got to recognize, like, you can't always follow it up. Maybe catch the landing. But that's okay, because now we're just back in a scramble situation. Up throw, not quite yet. But the bomb going to follow up and catch him. Nice snipe from isohel as he takes it 3-1 and advances to winners finals.
Guaranteed top 3 at this event with a lot of players in